Thanks and welcome to join me on the 6:15 News. I'm Kejang Henry at Timbe. We begin with our top stories. Horo in Japuma as a crocodile is reported to have eaten up a sand digger at Song Baper, that is a village in Japuma around the Douala 3 district. The victim was amongst a group of sand diggers who were surprised at the wee hours by the predators. And family demands the remains of a newborn baby from authorities of the Lakentini Hospital. And of course, news that the baby that disappeared after birth is to ring in the airwaves. Top stories.
Canal International.
Thanks very much. Sorry for that hitch there, and welcome to the 6:15 News with me, Kejang Henry at Timbe. Authorities and traditional authorities, administrative and traditional authorities are investigating a grisly accident of a young man supposed to have been attacked and eaten up by a crocodile in Songbape, that is in Japuma, in the Douala 3 district area. The predator is reported to have attacked its victim at wee hours during a midnight sand digging activity. Morindi now reports.
As early as 7 a.m., it is total sadness in Songbape village in Japuma area in the Douala 3 municipality. Helpless population, mostly widows, are camping around the waters in tears, waiting for the corpse of a sand digger reported to have been eaten by an alligator. The unfortunate incident happened between midnight and 1 a.m. when the young men were busy taking out sand from the waters. The alligator is said to have surprised one of the young men, dragged him under the water, pulled him on a distance before eating him up. This happens before the eyes of his helpless colleagues, who watch in pains of seeing him being eaten up. I'm a professional diver, as usual, who went out to take sand. We had already filled our canoe and doing some cleanup when suddenly we heard a scream from one of us. He was still in the water. He screamed, telling us to save him, but it was too late. The alligator pulled him deep in the water, and on a distance we could not help. The search for his remains is still on. Some fishermen in the area are quoted to have seen the alligator pulling the sand digger across the river, but the remains had not been fished out. The entire Songbape village is mourning.
Les premières mesures ont été prises par le chef du village, ça veut dire que arrêter les travaux de nuit pour l'instant.
The representative of the chief says he has alerted the authorities as the search for the remains continue. He, however, confirms they have been witnessing attacks from wild animals in the area. He says if the crocodiles are not found, then other villagers who use the river for daily activities might also fall a victim. He cries for help. The fear of the unknown looms in the village as the villagers continue the search for the remains.
Very unfortunate there. Thanks very much, Maureen. The disappearance of a newborn baby at the Lakentini Hospital in Douala is taking another twist. Now, family is bent on having the remains of the child they said died after birth, as well as the placenta. This is already, there are already suspicion on the fact that the baby must have been stolen.
As early as 7 a.m., April 5, 2023, Luke Njemba and family were already at the gates of the Lakentini Hospital in Douala. They are bent on having the remains and placenta of their newborn baby, who reportedly passed on, which the hospital administration claimed were flushed by a trainee.
I'm here because I need my child. Since Friday that my wife put to birth, We have neither seen the child alive, nor dead, nor the placenta. If we don't have the remains, we conclude he is alive. I even demanded for the discharge of my wife from the hospital because of security reasons. I need to protect her. I will be here until justice takes its course.
Jusqu'à ce que justice soit faite.
As a Bantu, the family claims without the remains, they are deprived of performing their traditional rites.
Dans nos traditions, on ne jette pas le placenta, on ne jette pas le corps.
In our tradition, we don't abandon our blood wherever. Once a child is born or died, rites must be performed to either welcome or wish him goodbye. That's the reason we don't throw the dead body of a newborn and placenta too. This couple is deprived of the right to perform these rites appropriately. Tongues have been wagging ever since the incident occurred.
La famille est meurtrie.
The family is devastated. Without having a child or placenta, it gives the family double pain. It raises questions on the security of our hospitals, telling the family their remains were flushed while they were present at the hospital at the moment of delivery is not clear. They need proper explanations. The hospital administration, in a communique, suspends the trainee and the 2 nurses who were present when the incident happened. It says investigations are underway while the concerns will appear before the disciplinary committee of the hospital on April 6, 2023. Meantime, security has been tightened around the hospital vicinity to preempt any eventualities.
And a rush hour commotion this morning in the tunnel, the road axis connecting the Douala airport to the city, is reported to have caused very serious traffic holdup. Now, 2 military officers on a bike overturned when they got to the tunnel. And of course, that was the resultant consequence of the commotion. Ambo Gladys, Diba report.
A commotion at the tunnel along the highway leading to the Douala International Airport has caused the overturn of 2 military officers on a bike. The incident occurred at rush hour Wednesday morning, April 6, 2023, temporarily blocking traffic on the highway.
Il y a une moto des militaires.
A bike which had on board 2 military men overturned, forcing the driver of a vehicle that was closing behind another vehicle, had an abrupt halt. Other vehicles that were cruising on breakneck speed on the airport route were all trapped in the commotion. This I blame on the military men.
La moto militaire qui a occasionné.
More than 10 vehicles involved in the commotion saw their windscreen and other car parts shattered. Owners of 3 of the vehicles involved in the accident quickly left the scene for fear of being indicted by road safety agents. No one sustained injuries. We only recorded material damage. Gendarme officers who were alerted immediately arrived at the scene to take stock of the situation and ensure circulation is restored.
And we move over to the north region of the country where the Public Works Minister, Emmanuel Kanu Chumisi, has frowned on the slow pace of construction works going on in that part of the country. In fact, there is a road that is supposed to connect the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Cameroon and Chad. This road or construction works that flagged off some 60 months ago is still not taken off from the ground. The 4,195 billion road project has completely paralyzed economic activities in that part of the country. Morindi.
The disappointment of the Minister of Public Works was very clear when he visited the Pala Bridge located on National Road Number 1. We are in the far north region of Cameroon. Launched some 16 months ago, construction works have stagnated as a result of financial constraints and bad weather conditions. There is no significant progress on the ground. The 4,195 billion franc CFA project is supposed to speed up economic activities between Cameroon, Nigeria and Chad. Minister Ganon Jumesi expressed disappointment, especially as memories of the collapsed bridge are still fresh in the minds of those who ply that region. The public work bears calls on the engineers to speed up and respect deadline.
Donc je ne suis pas du tout content de savoir que nous sommes incapables d'amener les usagers de la route à respecter les tournages, les charges.
Meantime, the Minister of Public Works equally inspected other roads under construction in the Far North region. From the report, most of these projects are witnessing delays, which the contractors claim is as a result of lack of finance and bad weather conditions.
Thanks, Morindi. And two major worries of Cameroon vis-à-vis externally funded project is her indebtedness and budget deficit. Now, this has been a very disturbing situation as Beatrice Ngamo reports that there must be a change in the trend of things.
Cameroon's disbursement in external resources for the period 2023 to 2025, as projected by projects coordinators, is worth 2,813 billion CFA francs for a limit of 2,517 billion, leaving a gap of 296 billion. For this 2023 still, the needs are at 1,045 billion, whereas the limit was 830 billion, leaving a gap of 215 billion. Needs therefore better rationalization and prioritization of projects submitted for external debt. It was also realized that there are few externally funded projects that are performant, many executed beyond stipulated deadline. It is the inability to realize these projects, fruit of conventions sealed with partners, that is increasing the country's indebtedness. The rate of disbursement also extending with impact on budgetary deficit level. The seminar by the Minister of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, Alamin Usman May, to present the management tools and launch the disbursement programming work dedicated to externally funded projects for the period 2024-2026 is for in-depth reflection, bringing all the actors, that is the administration, unit managers of the different projects, alongside technical and financial partners around a norm, which is effectiveness, more performance, especially as a country is in need of resources to finance the National Development Strategy, evaluated at 88,000 billion CFA francs. Imperative, therefore, to obtain the external resources for the execution of the projects in the sense of attaining the set objectives.
And the environment greatly impacts the health of the population, of course, a major cause for non-communicable and infectious diseases in the country. And so to change this trend, there was the scientific days that took a serious look on the issues organized by the Faculty of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences of the Yaoundé University. So the actors actually want to reverse the trend. Beatrice Ngamo.
There are many environmental factors that impact the health of the population. This includes air pollution, forest and flora, environmental noise, toxics, and water quality.
There are environmental factors that have an influence on non-communicable disease, the infectious disease, the cholera epidemics that Cameroonian population suffer.
Environmental risk factors, the issues at the center of the first scientific days of environment and health. The diseases linked to environmental factors include
as cancers, the opportunity for the people who will attend to these workshops to know, for example, which can be the impact of the water concerning air pollution, soil pollution, and also what we eat. How is it produced? If there are some chemical products that are used that can be harmful for our health.
Reflection by the Faculty of Medicine and Biomedical Sciences of University of Yaoundé 1 for the scientists to sit together and come up with proposals to help the population.
To make sure that waste is disposed adequately, to make sure that animals are placed where they are supposed to be, to make sure that human behavior is in a way that will not damage the environment and will not damage our health. From these scientific days, they will come up with proposals. They will come up with recommendations to the scientific community, to the urban sector, and even to the university. Why not? even though we are trying to keep our environment clean, but is it enough?
The 1 week scientific days under the theme, Protect Our Environment for Better Health.
Thanks, Beatrice Ngamo. Wrapping up there with the 6:15 news. I'm Kejan Henry Atibe. Thanking you for watching. And of course, programs will continue. Coming up is Le Pejo with Le Débrief de l'Actualité. And we want to thank you for the news produced by Sherifa Saleh and Collins Wanchuan. Good day.